Well, guys, welcome to another live Q&A here at School of Sharks. It is my pleasure. My name is Dan Diaz. I am your host, and I'm super excited about a very special guest that we've got on our show today. As always, a little bit of housekeeping. We are using a service called StreamYard, so we want to hear from you, but we're going to need your help. What do I mean by this is that you need to give StreamYard permission to go ahead and share who you are. Otherwise, we're not going to know, who you are, unfortunately. So keep that in mind. Also, in the comments section, we want to know where you're from and what is your market. Now, we also want to know if you are an agent or if you're primarily an investor. Now, if you're new to the show and you are just starting out and you haven't done your first deal, it's totally okay. We want to hear about you too. So we're super excited to bring some value to the table. And as always, if you like what you're hearing, do me a favor, like, share, and comment. Be okay. It's totally okay. I'd love for you to tag School of Sharks as well as myself. Dancito Gancito, it's an absolute pleasure to have you guys here today. So without further ado, let me go ahead and add to the platform Mr. Andrew Morin. And Mr. Morin, not only is he a great friend of mine, we've known each other for quite a few years. I have a tremendous amount of respect for him for what he does. But there's a reason why we brought him on the show today. He is an active agent and a broker in the San Antonio area that can really bring a little bit of a different perspective to our business and our investment model. So I'd like to thank you, Andrew, for being here with us.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
I'd like for you to share a little bit with the audience for those who might not know you. When did you start in real estate? What is your path? What is your focus? Who is Andrew?
Well, I started in real estate. It's kind of a funny story. About 9 years ago or so, about something like that. I was a civilian medical research scientist in the military and civilian for most of my life. And I decided when I was getting out of the military to kind of see what I wanted to do. And my wife was funny. She's like, we went by an open house and she said, get your real estate license. We can get paid to go to open houses, not knowing anything about real estate. But of course,
so the goal was to get paid to go to open houses.
That was our goal.
Funny.
So we kind of laughed at that, like, okay, that's not gonna happen. We didn't know, but it's all funny. So I got my real estate license with my wife's support, and then I just started doing it. It was something to do, waiting till I could find the job that I really wanted.
So I'm glad
9
you're
years
sharing
later.
that. Yeah, I'm glad you're sharing that because we'll dial that back in a minute. But my experience, and I'm sure yours is the same, is that not all agents quit their 9 to 5 and immediately start doing this full time, right?
Yep. A lot of agents find it. They just do part time. There's nothing wrong with that. And I was only planning to do it part time, and I found out I loved it. I was good at it. I had good support. It just worked out well.
Nice. So you got your license. Initially, it was part-time.
Yep.
What happened next? Where did your career take you?
So then I started with a couple small boutique brokers. I got lucky and had a smaller boutique broker where they did a lot of one-on-one training. And I took advantage of that, where he said, whatever, ask me one question a day. And I was like, okay, don't tell me that. So I asked him one question a day, every day, something I could think about it.
Is that something he held you accountable to? Like,
well,
was
he
that
didn't.
part
He
of
just
your
said,
homework?
if you can ask me one question a day and I'll make time to answer that one question, but you have to come to me and ask me a question.
Wow.
And I said, okay.
That I think is massively important.
It was very, very powerful
for growth.
Yep,
One question a day.
Great.
So I'd love to hear.
Basic, yep.
Yeah, go back to when you started. What were some of the basic questions that?
Well, the first one was like, what do I do with a contract? I remember my first day, I went to my office and the client was like, and I had a client walk in like, I needed an apartment and I didn't have MLS access. Yes, I didn't have cards. I didn't have anything. But I remember my mentor said, pretend, don't care about anything. You don't have to do anything. Just find the home and find the client and put them together, and I'll help you do the rest. And
there's already people in the audience that are vouching for you. Mario Gonzalez.
Oh, I love Mario.
Imagine you know him.
Yeah, I know Mario. He's awesome. Thanks, Mario. Yeah, so that was funny. My first time, I didn't know any apartments. All I did was I just told the lady, get in your car and follow me. And I just happened to live in the area she wanted to live. And I drove down the road and just pulled into places, literally just driving down the road. And then I just pretended, fake it till you make it. I was like, she needs a house. This is what we got. What can you do? And then my broker was like, good job. So, I mean, my first day as an agent, I made $1,000 not knowing anything, but I was there, I was trying. And, we're going to get into more of that like next week when we talk about, not giving up, working hard, that kind of stuff. But it
And
was
I'm glad you
really
share
good
that
talking.
because some of the people in the audience might not be aware, but right now we're working on a very special 3-hour masterclass. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
be next 20th of April at 6 o'clock in the afternoon. We're going to drop the links in the comments where you
Awesome.
guys can lock in your registration and make sure you join us. But I really like the fact that you said, and I know you used a phrase, fake it till you make it. But I
Mm-hmm.
want to clarify, you're doing it the right way. You're not faking a persona
Oh, no.
before it's real. Rather, what you're doing is you're taking massive immediate action,
Exactly.
even if you don't have all the answers.
Yeah, and that's what my mentor said at the time, that you don't need to know everything. Just go find a client and find a house. Work. He said, if you come to the office, and it was a military base office, like right outside of base. So he said you have to be here at 7:15 in the morning, and you can't go home till
Woo!
5. So I got there at 7 o'clock, and I didn't go home till 5:30 every day for my first 6 to 8 months in a real estate. And I mean,
Wow.
within 5 months, I had 18 closings at my first broker when I started, because I was the only one who would show up early and stay late.
I love that. I love that. So
Hmm.
that's a key lesson for a lot of listeners because they, especially with technology, may not be going to, a brick and mortar office, but mentally, do you put in the time? Do you mentally clock in? Do you do the work? Like if it's a home
Hmm.
office or wherever it is that you're at, do you in fact do the work? I tell that to the people, to my students all the time is how long a day are you actually clocked in? And I get it, you don't have a clock because you're doing this on your own, but
Yeah.
how many hours are you actually working? And tracking that is
Yep. I always
super
say,
important.
I give my people certain tasks to do. Again, we'll get into that next week more. But if you do your things every week, you're going to get leads and you're going to get closings. You just have to put in the effort.
And you're going to share with us next week a little bit of a scheduling a roadmap that you
Correct.
do so that you can ensure success. Meaning these are the
Hmm.
things that if you do X, Y, Z, A, B, C, X amount of times per week, this will lead to success, right?
Yep, we're going to talk about open houses, some other basic stuff to get buyer leads, some of the easy free stuff that you can do every week to get leads.
I love it. I love it. Now let's dial in into who is Andrew. What would you say is the biggest strength? And it's okay to be vulnerable and it's okay to be a little
Yep.
bit braggy. But what would you say is the biggest strength that
One of
has
my
allowed you to be successful?
one of the biggest ones I always laugh is that I'm a very hard worker. I don't believe in not doing it. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it 100%, and I don't care, and I'm going to make it work. And if it doesn't work one way, then I'm going to try 4 other ways. Yeah,
I
there's
love
always a way
that.
you can make it
If
work.
it
Yeah, you
doesn't
just.
work one way, try
Mhm.
4 other ways.
Yep. So
Again, goes
Albert
back to massive
Einstein.
immediate action.
Yep. One of my mentors is Albert Einstein, being a scientist, and one of the
Mhm.
things he said, if the definition of insanity is doing the same thing again and again and expecting a different result. So if I try it and it doesn't work, I got to try a different way and get a different result.
Nice, nice. I love that. So tenacity and not giving
Mhm.
up is definitely among
Yep.
your biggest strengths. Now let's talk about not just your strengths. Let's be a little bit vulnerable. From what you've observed and the feedback that you've gotten from coworkers, from clients, from customers, what would you say is currently your most challenging
It
weakness?
might go along with the biggest strengths, funnily, but because I, at the same time, I should take Albert Einstein's advice. If I'm going to try to figure something out, if I'm like, okay, I know this will work, and I'll try it for a month, even though if I don't get any results in the first week, I should have known at that time. Okay, nothing happened. It's time to change, and I don't. I just keep going. I'm like, I'm going to make this sucker work, and then I make it last longer than it probably should, which is what I mean. I better make it work. I'm going to do it. So if it doesn't go perfect, then I know, okay, this is something I got to work on and fix. So that's one of my bigger weaknesses. I
So
got to
maybe
realize sooner.
recognizing earlier on when something it's like, hey, we need to
Yep.
tweak this. This is not going to work. I love that. I love that. Guys, if you guys are getting value, do me a favor, like and share on your personal pages. Please tag myself, School of Sharks, Andrew Morin. If you're not friends or connected on social media, please do so. He is always available for any kind of retail related advice. He's actually knowledgeable in investments as well, but he focuses on really being able to move the deal, to the finish line, which is actually going to be the title, moving the deal to the finish line, next month. Next week. Let's talk about accomplishments. What accomplishments are you most proud of? And it's okay if it's business, but if it's like a personal accomplishment that, I just did this, or 2 years ago, I was able to do that, and you want to share it, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I always wanted to write a book, which is kind of funny. So I just published a book this morning of all times about real estate and marketing. And then I also, about me personally, one of my things I like to do is being a science nerd. I create role-playing games. So I published my role-playing game last month.
What?
Yep. So
is it like a board game or electronic game?
It's
or
like
what kind of game?
Like a Dungeons and Dragons type dice type game.
Oh
and I
my
created
God.
The whole,
I thought I knew you.
Yep. And it's very fun. It's all great. So I do
totally
that
random. Is this going to be available for sale anywhere?
It is. It's on Amazon right now, called Adventuring Heroes. Yep.
The Venturing Heroes.
Adventuring Heroes.
Adventuring Heroes. Maybe we can drop on the comments
the
link. Now your book, is this a physical hard copy? Is this an electronic copy?
Both. Both. You can buy a physical hard copy or the one I'm trying to get.
Do you have one?
I don't have a hard copy myself. I always play with people digitally because it's easier to share digital stuff. I play with people across the United States every Saturday morning, with people, some in Utah, some in Arizona, all over pretty much like 3/4 of the United States. We have a group that when they were young, I was their pastor, kind of their youth teacher, and I kept them out of jail and drugs, playing games with them. Awesome. And then it just kind of grew, and now I get to see them grow up, and it was great.
Oh man, that is awesome. I feel honored to know somebody who's developed a game. I mean,
it's super
hopefully
fun.
this turns out to like Monopoly or something. That'd be great. I'm a big Monopoly fan for sure. That is super cool. Super cool. Let's talk about what you enjoy most about being a solid broker and an agent. And I really want you to dial into your why. Why is it that you do what you do?
One of the reasons I really love it is I love working with military buyers. They're one of my favorite. And I love working with first-time home buyers. And I love to just put them in a house. And those are probably some of my favorite things. When I do a lot of renter to buyer, which a lot of people laugh about, don't worry about renters, but they need a house too. So I love to work with them. I do a lot of them, as well as regular people, of course. But then I love it when people say, there's no way I can buy a house. And I get them approved, get them in a home, find, maybe some, interesting financing if I need it. I have a couple of good options for that. And then I put them in their house and I can see their lives change. So it's worth it that way. It's a huge way to really kind of touch somebody's life.
I love it. So first-time home buyers and military, that's what you put your flag. And what a city to do it in. I mean, amazing. Military City, USA.
We're so blessed here. Yeah.
So very, very good. Jason wants to know, how do we get the book?
Okay. So which book do you want? So the other book is Mastering Real Estate Marketing Strategies for Success. That's the real estate book. And they're both on Amazon.
So they're both on Amazon. Let's see if we can put the link on the comments. What was the title again?
Mastering Real Estate Marketing Strategies for Success. I'm seeing if I have a place, if I can chat. Here it is, comments.
Well, we'll go ahead. Yeah, I'll go ahead and we'll get our team to plug it in the comments. Joe, if you can make a note of that. Again, the title was
Mastering Real Estate Marketing Strategies for Success.
You couldn't come up with a shorter one?
That's
like Amazing Agent for Dummies? Oh, Dummies.
Maybe my next book will be something like that. Yeah.
Very, very nice. Super, super love it. So let's dial into somebody who's chiming in right now, and they want to get involved as an agent. They want to get involved in the retail side of things. Would you say that now is a good time, a bad time, or there is no bad time? What would you say about the market condition that we're in regarding someone wanting to enter?
Right now, I think it's an amazing time. I know some friends who work as transaction coordinators in the last month. One of my good friends went from like a slow 2 months ago. And this month, for the last 30, 45 days, she's gotten, I think, 38 contracts for her transaction coordinating. So she's, 10 times just huge, blew up her business. And I've seen a lot of other people, coming up, and I've gotten a lot more business. I just got 2 people under contract the last week. We have another listing this weekend. So and things are really starting to heat up. So it's a great time. I don't think there's ever a bad time. You have to, like we talked, like you were mentioning before, you have to shift. If the market shifts, you have to be able to shift with it, and you have to be able to understand different needs. We had to, me and my lender, we work closely together. We did a whole shift of our whole marketing plan a month ago because we weren't
Got it.
getting the results. So we sat down. Our ROI was not, our proof of concept didn't work. We didn't have anything working. So we had to redo our whole marketing plan. So now we're getting the results. But
So let's share into that, because that might be a new concept for a few people. You said that you have a preferred lender, which is great.
yes,
You have a relationship. Do y'all share marketing costs? Do y'all share
we do.
budgets? Do you share markets? How does that relationship work?
So I have a system, a CRM, which is called KV Core, where our company gives us, and I
Mhm.
can put my preferred lender in there, and then I have a marketing budget that I pay for leads, and I do a lot of leads. I pull out of that and get that, and then he has a budget on his side as well that he also shoots for buyer leads, and then we share them together. And I'm his preferred realtor when he gets them approved, and then I feed back as a small referral fee to kind of feed the beast so we can keep
Yeah,
using
it's
it
a hungry
more.
beast.
It's a hungry beast. Every month we got to feed it. So once we get a small percent back, it feeds his beast, and then mine continue. Every lead I get, he gets a copy instantly. And instead of just one of us reaching out to the agents or the clients, I mean, or I call them opportunities,
Yeah.
until they're ready to work with you, then they're customers. So we have, I'm getting 10 to 20 to 50 leads a day sometimes. And if they don't listen to me, he has a different way he talks to the opportunity. He has a different style. So they might not hit with me, they might hit with his style. And then with that, we're getting a much higher return on our investment now. We used to have a 1 to 3% conversion. Now we're getting closer to a 5 to 10%,
Nice. And would
which
you
is
say
really,
that is solely because of the relationship that was built with the lender?
it
Are
is.
most lenders open to having this kind of relationship, or is that just
I
because
would
you're
I would hope so, because that's how, I mean, that's how you're going to be successful. You're going to have to connect with people who have the same goal.
Nice. Now, if you don't mind sharing, and I hope I'm not
Mhm.
overstepping, but just
Not
for
at
the
all.
sake of our audience, getting an idea for what to expect, what's your monthly budget when it comes to marketing or generating for new leads?
My budget is only $300 to $500. I have
A month?
a month. I have a very low
Love it.
budget because I do a lot of free stuff. I believe that when I first started, I had no money, so as most agents, so I was
I
like,
go broke
okay,
every month.
exactly. So I'm like, you know what? I gotta do it. So I just pushed hard, and now I have I call them my daily task list. If I can hit my task, like we're gonna cover some of those next week, and we're gonna go over that and see, if you do certain things, you get leads, but you have to be consistent, and you have to do it. I have a lady on my team right now that all she does is post videos the way I taught her how to do it, and she's having 3 to 4 closings every month now, and it costs nothing. She has free videos on a free app she's doing, but she's posting every day is her thing.
One video a day.
One video a day of a brand new home or something. And she speaks Vietnamese. So her niche market
Oh,
is
wow.
Vietnamese clients. So she started Vietnamese social media groups and she hit her niche.
Oh, the riches are
So,
in the niches.
yep,
So
exactly.
it's funny. It's funny you say that, because I met a dentist not too long ago at a conference, and he had his real estate license, and he was migrating into the investment side of
Mm,
things. He decided to go the retail side, which I think is really smart as a bridge. But he really took the riches are in the niches concept, because he has branded himself as the preferred real estate agents for dentists in
wow.
Houston.
That's awesome.
I mean, that is dialed
That
in.
is great. Oh,
And
man.
he says it's just funny because when it comes to agents, I mean, there's 190,000 active licenses, I believe, in the entire state of Texas. How do you, in fact, stand aside? How
Hmm.
do you make yourself stand out. And I tell people, just give yourself a brand, find a niche. I don't want to say it doesn't matter. I mean, I think it probably does matter, but what matters most is that you put a flag somewhere. So in your case, first time home buyers and veterans.
Yep.
In
My
her
nickname on my
case,
website says Soldier Scientist.
Vietnamese.
Yep.
That's super cool.
Yep.
So give us a little bit of a preview of what we can expect on next week's webinar.
So next week we kind of broke it down into like different sections. So the first section we're going to go over like how to get a lead, and this is for buyers. We're talking about next week, nothing else. How to get a buyer lead. I'm going to go over some free, easy ways. We're going to quickly mention some paid ones, but we're not going to get into them at all for time wise. And then we're going to say once you get the lead, how do you deal with them? How do you send the choices? How many do you send? And then we're going to talk about like real quick how to do a fast CMA. There's a couple ways you can do them in like 30 seconds. And then once we look at like those couple seconds, it's going to be really quick and we're going to knock them out. And then we're going to show you a sheet in there that we're going to give to everybody. It's a free sheet next week. And you just plug in the numbers and it lets you know how much wiggle room you have. And then you can negotiate with the client and see what's more important to you. Price, buying down the rate, whatever they want. We're going to get into all that and how you can negotiate as a realtor. Your client never sees the sheet. So you look like a friggin' rock star and it looks amazing.
You got a fan with you, Lucas Mota.
Lucas is amazing. Thanks, Lucas.
Tell me how to use KV Core very well. Andrew is the GOAT.
Yep. Sweet. Thanks, man.
That's what I love about School of Sharks. We've developed a really nice community where you might not know XYZ person. A lot of people in our community, because they're investment focused and not retail focused, really have no idea who you are, but you really are known in the retail community. And that's really good.
I've been very lucky to be sponsored some by Envision Title 2. I got to give them a shout out because they let me trade at their office. I love it. If I didn't have their office, I couldn't train. So they're really nice to let me train. Of course, it helps them, but I give a big shout out to them and all they can do. It's super great. They've been so supportive for me. But yeah, we're going to cover that. And then we're going to just quickly look at ways you can control the contract as an agent so you don't lose contract. And then we're going to show how to close it. And we're going to give you some extra good stuff like a sheet where you put in a date and it gives you every hit date automatically. Just stuff that people pay. Literally, most people pay for those packages I sell around about $9.99, about $1,000. About
$1,000.
We're going to give it all out for free next week, so it's pretty incredible.
Nice. It's going to be included with the webinar, guys. The link we're going to drop it off on the comment section. Love to see you guys there. I'm going to give you the heads up that I tell everyone at School of Sharks in our community. Post-production, the webinar, and the masterclass is going to be $297. But if you lock in the price now, it's only going to be $97. So please, guys, do yourself a favor. Now, full disclosure, this is not for cash buyer investor situations. This is for retail agents who really want to dial into their craft when it comes to getting top quality buyers. So if this is you, riches are in the niches. Make sure you go ahead and lock in your seed. Mario says Andrew is the human version of ChatGPT.
I just saw that. Thanks, Mario. You're the man.
Oh man, that's crazy. That is awesome. That's awesome. So let's get a little philosophical, if we could. What words of wisdom would you share with someone who is starting off as an agent, or maybe already has a practice? Maybe things that you have just realized that are necessary for your being, for your soul, if you're going to be successful in this business.
I always say, take a look at the big picture. Because some months it's going to suck and you're going to be hating life. You're going to be like, what the hell did I get into? This is terrible. Everyone hates me. I have no money. My wife's going to leave me. You never know what's going to, it's terrible in life sometimes. It hits you and you're like, what is going on with me? But don't give up. Look at the big picture. The next month, like I had 1 month that I had nothing. I was even late on my house payment a couple of years back. And I was like, this is terrible. And my wife's like, go get a real job. And I was like, babe, relax.
Oh, she did not throw real job.
I was laughing. So
out
I'm still
there.
Going back at her now. And then the next month, I made $65,000 in 1 month.
Wow.
So I was like, and my real job, we would have not made, we would not be in the position now where we are.
That was probably your yearly income, if that.
Exactly. That's what so the average agent makes $35,000 to $40,000 a year. Wow. So we can make that per month. if you stay, and then after now, then of course that projects you when you reinvest that back into your business. We'll talk more about that next week too. The percent you should reinvest. If you do that correctly, like we did, I haven't had a hard month like that because now I learned, hey, I shouldn't have spent all my money doing other stuff. So I saved it now, and now I have it reinvested back in my business with me and my lender, and we're good. We have it
Love it.
set.
Love
So
it.
you
Love it.
have to not give up. Just think of the long picture. Life sucks sometimes. It's hard for everybody. You always have a bad, good month. Just, but if you have that and you have multiple streams of income is the other thing. So I had to apply 4 or 5 other streams of income. So now it's my real estate slows down for a month. It's picked up fine by my other streams of income. And as you're doing that and you're smart, like the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. So money is good to keep you happy and keep your marriage happy and everyone doing good. So don't give up. Just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And then you're going to see, again, like you said, Daniel, massive action.
Massive, even if it's imperfect action, will always lead to success.
Yep.
Even if you don't have all the answers.
Mhm.
You didn't have all the answers that first time that you grabbed that client. You used a phrase, fake it till you can make it. I don't like that phrase because it's been used lately to imply that
It has.
give a image that isn't real. But if used properly, what that means is, listen, I'm going to go to work. I'm going to go
Yep.
door knock. I'm going to get on the phone and I'll figure out the answers when I need them.
Yep.
And
My first time when I ever hung door hangers, I was scared to death, and people were still laughing at me. I drove to 2 neighborhoods because I was too scared to get out of my car, and then I told myself, you quit being a little bitch, get out of your car. And I got out of my car, and I got 2 good seller leads just walking around hanging door hangers, not even door knocking. I was too scared to door knock. But again, if you've never done it before,
you were just hanging them because you didn't even want to knock on.
I didn't want to knock on the door. I was just hanging them, and then garages were open, and someone was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Trying to see if you want to sell your house." And he's like, "I have 2 investment homes." I'm like, "Okay, let's sell them." Then he's like, "Okay," and I was like, "That's it, okay." And now now it's nothing. But again, you're going to be scared. You're going to be nervous. Just suck it up. Just do it.
And I really like how that dials into just the practical daily advice. You just have to do the work. I mean, there is no shortcut around it. You have to do the work. You have to do it every day. You have to either do the door knocking or the phone calling or the conversations. I tell people all the time, business is nothing more than shaking hands, kissing babies, and making friends. And you've got to do the work. Guys, I'm sure you guys are having a good time. We would love it if y'all did us a big favor. Share and like, but also in the comments section, do me a favor and type in, what your market is and how long you've been in the business. We'd love to get to know you. Lucas says, that's rejection me every galore. Time I cold call. Rejection galore.
So what I like to do sometimes, Lucas, for fun, I'll get I call it my phone call bingo card, and you can download them online. They're fun, and people put them up there. And every time someone curses them, you put a check, and then all the negative things you might get, call you, whatever you want to do, have fun and make a bingo game of it. And when I get calls them at a bad day, I do that. I make the phone call bingo card, and then if I get cursed, I'm like, sweet, thank you, and boom, I get a check. And then whenever I can't quit calling until I make bingo.
So go make bingos of no's. I love it. San Antonio, Texas, almost 2 years as realtor with EXP.
Sweet.
Thanks for chiming in.
Yep. And if you make the bingos, your negatives are now positive because you
made a bingo.
Yeah, you made a bingo. Woohoo! Yep. It's super fun too. It sounds silly, but people get, and you do a group call, like your team can get together and call. We have agents, so you can do that in different offices. You can play bingo together, and then you can have a prize.
Oh man, I love that.
Super
That alone was value. Hey, listen, Andrew, I know you've got a busy schedule. I really want to thank you for hopping on to this live feed. Thank you so much for sharing what works for you. And that's really what School of Sharks is all about. We don't claim to be the end all be all. This is just a platform where we say, hey, listen, there's one successful person. This is what they do. This is how they do it. Let's listen to them. And if you can grab something from there, I grabbed a bingo card usage. So if you can grab something for yourself and for your business, that's what it's all about. Before we log off, though, Andrew, I'd like to give you the platform for a couple of minutes and really share with the audience, what it is that really makes real estate a noble enterprise, why you love it, and if anyone is on the fence about jumping in, whether it's on the investment or the retail side, why they should just do it now.
Good. Thank you for the time. So yeah, so the real estate's amazing. You have such an opportunity to change people's lives. That's when I think about it. That's probably the biggest difference I can see. We have people that I love to help veterans because so many times they're living paycheck to paycheck, and the military is giving them money every month called BAH, where they can actually use that to buy homes, and they're already getting that anyway, and it's set aside separate than their paycheck. And if they live on base, the base takes all their money, and they
Oh,
don't get
wow.
and they don't get anything out of it. So that's just an example, but there's so many ways you can change someone's life and help them. And don't, make sure you're giving back. Me and my lender always give some of our commission to the client, no matter what.
Mm.
And then even if it's only $500 to help them buy a Ring doorbell or whatever, or set them up. That's if someone wanted a smart home
U-Haul truck.
yeah, whatever, anything, or even like a little, garage door opener, anything that would make their life better, you do that. And then it's a physical presence in their life. Make sure it's something physical so they see it and touch it every day.
So not U-Haul.
Not a U-Haul, but you can do that too if you want to help. But you try to give them something where they can use it every day. I bought people, $500-$600 fridges if they didn't have a fridge, something. So every time they touch it, they say, thank you for helping me. And then you reach out to them and you get your referrals, your sphere of influence, and they remind you to another agent. No other agent is going to take the care for them. If you can show that you love your clients. So I always call it, don't have commission breath, we call it. If you have commission breath, they know that. And then, if you're not there to really take care of your client and love your client and really be the person there to help them, you're in the wrong business. But if you want to take care of your clients and you want to make good money and have a good life, then this is the place to be.
I love it. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guys, if you want to get in contact with Andrew personally, we've got his email address, his telephone number down below. Please reach out on social media. One final question, and our friendship may depend on this.
Yeah.
Coke or Pepsi?
Good question. I like Pepsi.
Oh,
but
Andrew.
If I drink a diet, I like the Diet Coke flavor better than the Diet Pepsi. So
that's funny. That's funny.
It's fun. I know it's weird that way, but I drink them both.
That's funny. Lucas cannot be our friend.
Dr. Pepper,
He's a
Mario.
Pepsi.
Oh no.
Oh man, Dr. Pepper. You know what? I'll take Dr. Pepper, Mario. I'll take Dr.
I like
Pepper.
Mountain Dew sometimes. I'm not a big soda person anyway, but I'll drink Mountain Dew sometimes.
I tell people all the time, for me, it's Mexican Coke. It's a little strong, so I usually have to water it down with some bourbon or Crown, But
my favorite drink is probably horchata. I don't know why. I just love horchata.
Oh, bro, it's great, but that gives you diabetes in a cup.
Yep, you got to be careful not to overdo it. So I only drink it a couple times, once a week or so. But man, it's good.
That's funny. Well, guys, it's been a real pleasure. I hope you all have a great one. Please do me a favor. If you got value, you know what to do. Like, share, comment, tag myself, Dan Diaz, Ancito Gancito, Andrew Morin on social media, School of Sharks. You guys have an awesome, productive day. And yes, we're going to be putting in the link for next week's training session in the comments below. So you guys have a great one. Take care.
Thanks, Dan.
Have a great one. Bye-bye.